right. Thank you everyone for waking up so early after all the 10 o'clock starts. I apologize for dragging you out of bed here. With that said, just a quick announcement. People have lost some stuff. This is two of the items. There's a laptop charger. We're finding it where it is. We're just gonna put it here.
Mike, can you put the mic?
Okay. So yeah, lost and found. There's some things that have been lost. A couple of them are here. There's like a laptop charger as well. So we're finding it, and it'll be over here. So if you've lost something, please come and get it. Or if you've lost something that's not here, let us know, and we'll see if someone has turned it in. All right. With that said, welcome to Hot Pets. At Hot Pets, the motto is come for the ice cream and stay for the talks. And we have a lot of great talks lined up for you. And the chairs try to assemble a set of talks that try to have a lot of different angles. We try to do a lot of different dimensions to try to accommodate all of them. So we'd like to see a diversity of topics, not necessarily things that are appearing in the mainline PETS program, but to see if there's like things that are not being talked about. We'd like to see if we can include them. We also are okay with works that are more rough around the edges. In fact, we like to see works that are more rough around the edges. They're not fully baked yet, but there's an element or kernel of coolness to them. Something that we think would be, well, it was definitely interesting to us, and we hope that the audience would also find it interesting. And also, we like to see lots of different diversity in the author that are submitting to Hot Pets, and try to bring them to the fore and have a chance for them to talk about their research, because we don't want to have just a very monoculture in that regard. And we got a lot of great talks, so we want to see if we can provide a balance or have a balance of more technical type of talks where people are talking about systems, but then also more talks that are more abstract, more conceptual, like directions, what are we doing in pets in general, and perhaps which directions we should go towards. So this looks like a lot of different dimensions, and often they seem to be at conflict with each other, and it seems like a daunting task. But I think the chairs were able to think about it for a little moment, and I think we've come up with a pretty good solution. So, as always, we looked at some stats for this iteration. So we had 22 submissions. 55% of them came in the last 12 hours, which was quite the roller coaster for the chairs, because we were like, why aren't people submitting? But I guess this is the natural, and it just goes to show that last-minute work does turn out to be quite good sometimes. In terms of where we got our submissions from, we just looked at the affiliations and kind of said, well, that's from that country. So we see that from the US in 2018, we got 7 submissions, and from Europe, we got 15 submissions. And the rest of the universe was not submitting to Hot Pets. So maybe this is maybe an interesting stat that we can maybe think about how we might be able to reach the other parts of the planet or universe, and see if they'd be willing to submit to Hot Pets. We also looked at the affiliation diversity. This is basically whatever the authors put as their affiliations, to see are there lots of different entities being, like groups being represented, and we see there's quite a healthy number of groups being represented there. Now, at this point of the opening remarks, we'd like to say that Hot Pets is very different in nature and in tone from mainline PETS. Whereas PETS is like an academic conference where you might want to, obey the rules. Like first you listen to the talk, and then you have a question-answer session, and then you reserve your questions for then. But at Hot Pets, none of that. Okay, so it's completely fine for you to interrupt, for you to exclaim out in anguish at something that you see on stage. So please be completely at ease to be able to do that. We will have runners with microphones at every one of the sessions, and just raise your hand, they'll come to you, or they'll see you and they'll put you in the list of people. So that's how we're doing it this year. We'll just have people coming around with microphones. So don't be shy, raise your hand, and there's no like retribution to that. With that said, I'd just like to remind the speakers, I think a lot of them have already seen their session chairs, but the session chairs are over here. So there's Mark for the first session. I think all the speakers have already met. Yep, cool. Aaron is a session chair. So if Aaron is your session chair, please go see him. Cecilia is, where'd Cecilia go? She's over there. If you haven't met your session chair yet, please go meet her. And Roger is not here yet, not awake yet, but he soon will be. He has some time. And so, yeah, go see your session chair before your session and set up. All right, with that said, that comes to the end of the opening remarks, and I hereby declare Hot Pets open. All right, so I'll leave it to Mark to